Welcome to our program, Paara. To launch our program, we have a special guest who is a cricket legend, a legendary player, coach, and administrator. He has served Sri Lanka cricket for over 5 decades. He belongs to the golden era of Ceylon cricket. So, welcome to our program, Mr. Anurudha Polonowita. It's our great pleasure to have you in this inaugural discussion about cricket. But mostly, I would like to go down memory lane about how you contributed to Sri Lanka's rise. So, my first question would be like, you were an outstanding player, coach, and administrator of Sri Lanka cricket. What are your best memories as a player, coach, and administrator?
Thank you, Ousman. You asked me three interesting subjects, so I really want to tell you that I had really fascinating time I had within these three subjects you asked. As a player, when I started playing cricket for Ananda, players never had any chance of going beyond school cricket because at that time, two schools dominated where cricket is concerned, and even the cricket board was dominated by these two school old boys. So then I took it as a challenge where my cricket is concerned. So I thought how to get into this system. So I joined SSC because I thought of SSC because all the people who played for Sri Lanka came from SSC. So my father encouraged me to join SSC. My brother wanted me to play for Bloomfield because his classmate was the captain of Bloomfield. So I took my father's advice and joined SSC. So when I was mixing up with these two school players, I thought there was no difference, so I achieved my goals. First season I played 4 games for SSC because I was still playing for school. I captained that year, the next year. So first 4 my Premier Club tournament, 4 matches I got 25 wickets. So I thought I have done the right thing, and even my fees were paid by Royalist, Shelton, I can't remember his name, and people like FC Zeram, R.B. Vijay Singh, Chippy Gunasekara, and if I mention to you the players I first played with, my first year as a schoolboy, wicketkeeper was Ben Navaratna, one of the best keepers we had, and C.I. Gunasekara, C.H. Gunasekara, all stalwarts, and I really enjoyed playing with them, and they encouraged me, they taught me a lot of things, and it was going on like this. Then I thought, and I played 4 years for SSC, and all 4 years I became the best bowler there, and we became the champions. So while playing for SSC, I thought, if these people can do that, and if these players from these two schools, I thought, why not my school? So I thought of coaching Ananda because of that, and I went and started to the principal, and he took me as an assistant coach, and then I started coaching Ananda for 38 years. During this period, I'm happy to say, and no one has done that, 25 players played for Sri Lanka. So that's a record by any coach, and my stint at Ananda was 38 years. And out of that, two players captained Sri Lanka. The name player Rajunga and Marvin Atapatu. And in that context, I achieved my thinking as a player. And then I played for Sri Lanka for many years, from 1960 to 1970. I played at that time when I started playing for the country, it was Ceylon. So it was very interesting time we had, and then I thought the cricket board also was dominated by these two schools, old boys. So then I quietly joined the cricket board. So there also I achieved my goals. I was one time the chairman of the umpires committee, chairman of the committee, and I was the vice president, and then I became the chairman of selectors, and I served the selection committee for about 10 years, and I'm proud to say that when I was the chairman of selectors, more outstation boys played for Sri Lanka. So I thought it's not trying to bring these two schools standard down. I thought it's best for us to improve our cricket and show them we also can do the same thing. So I got my players from Ananda to join the SSC. So people like Anurudha with Timuni brothers and all players who played for Sri Lanka went from my school and my student, and that's how I achieved my goal as a coach.
So when you look back, what do you treasure most among your achievements, be it as a player, coach or administrator?
From these all three, I think I achieved the highest positions where cricket is concerned. As a player, as a administrator, and then I became the curator also, and where my bowling, and when I started I was only a bowler, then I thought why can't I bat? Then for my club I joined Nomads, and we built that club, and 68, my good year, that's the year I got married, and then 68 I captained Nomads, and we were unbeaten champions. And very interesting part of it was at that year the Joe Lister's team came to Sri Lanka, and there was a tour to England, and that match was selecting the team like a trial. So I got married on the 4th of March, and this match was on the 5th of March. So I had to go and play this match because it was a trial, and papers, I think your paper gave headlines, Polonowita spent his honeymoon at the Oval. So where this happened, I was very thankful to my wife allowing me to go away and spend the honeymoon, what the paper said, at the Oval. So I was very thankful to my wife regarding that, and she was also behind me where my achievements are concerned, because I have taken a lot of her time and devoted my time for development of cricket in Sri Lanka and school cricket and all that.
Yes. So I was about to ask you, like, what was the secret behind your success as a player initially?
Actually, as I said earlier, I had a very, I wanted to achieve, and I took everything as a challenge. I was never gone down because other schools are playing or we didn't have a chance, but I took as a challenge as a player, and then that's why I said my batting was, I couldn't bat or field, but I developed to be the best gully fielder in Ceylon at that time, and for nomads, I got promoted to go 2 down. That year I got 4 centuries, and halfway through I was heading batting averages. So it's a thing that your commitment and your way of thinking, and there's nothing you can say you can't do it if you think, and especially cricket, you have to commit yourself and go on practice and practice. So that is very important. Now I think nowadays they are more concentrating of physical training rather than practice. A bowler should bowl and bowl on a spot, and batsman must get his weak points corrected by throwing the ball and batting. So you are a test player or not, so you have to do these things. It's not keeping yourself fit. You must be fit in your batting or bowling, what you are doing or fielding. So I improved, and I became at that time the best all-rounder where cricket is concerned in Sri Lanka, in Ceylon.
Do you have any regrets in your career, such as I think when you were selected to England that got cancelled the tour? So any other regrets you had?
Oh yeah, that was the most disappointing thing I ever experienced. We were all geared up, and we got up early morning, 4 o'clock, and went for practice, training at 5 o'clock in the morning, and we did that for about 6-7 months, and there was a player named Sylvester Dias. One day when the tour got cancelled, they said, we would have run to England and the amount of running we did here, we did run to England, we could have done that. So those are interesting things we had, like people like that to say. And everybody was very, very disappointed because chairman selected himself to play, and other selector selected himself to lead the side. So the tour got cancelled, and it was a very disappointing for me and for Sri Lanka cricket, and our ICC status would have got much earlier if this didn't happen.
So what made you become a curator after?
That was a very interesting question you asked, because this area no one touched, because it was done by Natamis and Meenachis, So so I thought to myself, why not become a curator? Because I built. I was in charge of cricket side of it when we built Ketarama with the president Premadas. So after completing this, and we did it in 6 months' time. I mean, nowhere in the world a stadium was built in 6 months. It was done by all municipal engineers, and sports part of it I managed. And after that, President Premadas asked me what I want. I said, I would like to go to Australia and do my curatorship. So within few months I was sent to Australia. So I did my curatorship at the Melbourne cricket ground, what you call that, MCG. And I had a stint there for 3 months, and then I did my curatorship with the cricket board as an honorary capacity for 5 years. So I was doing that, and then this was most neglected area, and some clubs, they were cutting the pitch with lawnmowers, and there was a joke in Moratuva. They say if they ask for a heavy roller, 4 people push that roller. When you ask for a light roller, 2 people pull that roller. So that type of thing was happening. Then I thought I must get in. Then when Siddharth Vettimuni was chairman of the interim committee, he asked me whether I'd like to. Then I retired from the municipality as a director of sports, and then I gladly took that as a professional thing, and then I started doing that, and then I did that for I think about 17 years or so. Then the World Cup came, and then I had a big responsibility, because there was a problem at Kettarama. The night when you bat, moisture comes out. So I thought that I must raise that pitch about 3.5 feet. So I did that. Then I was involved with President Rajapaksa, building Surya, the largest ground in the world, and thanks to him. And I was in charge of, again, the cricket side of it, and I had to complete that in 5 months or something like that. So I took a big challenge there also, because World Cup is, the whole world was watching. So within 5 months to do these pitches and to play, countries like England and Australia, they don't play an international match till 2 years, things it gets settled. So I did that. I think it's a world record, I would say. I did that in such a short time, and prepared all the pitches in time. I had to go early morning, 4 o'clock to Surya, from there to Pallikale, from there to Kettara. I was traveling all the time, and at the beginning I was driving. Thanks to Nishantaran, who was secretary of the board, saw this and straight away gave me a drive. So then I was more comfortable traveling to all these places, and so I'm glad to say that we won all the matches for World Cup at home. So then we went, got the finals, and went to India for the finals. So I must say here, I'm very happy to say this, about 85% of the matches where we played in Sri Lanka, we won all the matches. 85% is a good percentage, and we produce on these pitches players like Sangakkara, Mayurjavardhana, Divishan, and even the practice pitches. I had 16 or 18 practice pitches at Kettaram. Then when I built Surya, everywhere I started having these big practice areas close to the dressing rooms, where now we have to have that ICC concern. And then I got all the machineries, I'm glad to say I got good machines, rollers from Germany. For the work of 4 or 5 rollers I got down from Germany, and there's 3-ton rollers, and then all pitch cutters from England.
You have been chairman of selectors Sri Lanka cricket for a long time, as a member of selection committee. Interesting question is, do you agree that selectors are not always right?
It's all depend on the way of thinking of people. Now if I select 11, sometimes you might say one player. All these things come only for 1 or 2 players. It's not the whole team. So normally a good side, if you take Sri Lankan side, when Myla and them were playing, there was only one place to fill in, so the bowlers, the earlier also when Anurudha was captaining when we won the World Cup. Just before that I was a chairman selector. I went on with the same team and the same batting order because the players also must be understanding each other when to bat. Take the singles and change, and if you are not some to that bowler, you can change and give the other person to bat, and So like that, your question, any time when you select the team, after the match, you can say, so it's a very tough thing, so to being a chairman of selectors, and I was also criticized when I was the chairman, but you must never get disturbed about other people. You must think and do the right thing, like the umpire also, he must go through his own thing. He must not get disturbed for appealing, or, So if you think it's out, you must say, like that the selectors must not bother about what other people say or other people criticize. Your knowledge, and there are other members of the selection committee, you must discuss things, When I was the chairman of selectors, I divided all the matches and gave, now you go and watch this match, you go and this. I also go and watch. So everybody went and watched matches. Now today what happened is, selectors go abroad with the team, but when I go to see a match, I can't see any selectors watching match. So likewise the committees also, so they are all going for World Cup matches and all that. Yeah, when I go and see, today I go and watch all the matches because I am to encourage our players. I can't see any past cricketer watching matches today. Whether we lose or not, we must encourage our players. They are representing our country. So we have always, as past cricketers, we must there to help cricket. So being in the selection committee, you can get a lot of big bats, and you must not get disturbed when you are batting. When bumpers come, you don't leave the bat and go. So you must get more encouraged and see. If you think that you have done the right thing, that's all what you have done, So I think that's the way it should go. Sometimes they get disheartened because the press is saying this, and then they change the teams, and for 1 year you have played 40 players. I mean, that's not selection. Even a street walker can select a team like that. You must have your ideas and get a set of fellows and get them encouraged. Now see, when we were selectors, Marwan got the 6 stones. So we saw his capacity and we saw his talent, and we continued, So likewise, today the players have talent, and so they must get them to commit themselves.
Finally, what is the message to present day players and administrators?
This is what I said, as players, your commitment should be there, your application, and you have to sacrifice a lot of things as a player. So you have to practice your matches, today a lot of tours, the families and all that. So you have a lot of sacrifice you have to do, because it's a short-term life as a test player or whatever. So our commitment should be there for the country and for yourself. So yourself also coming to that. And what happens is you must get into the nets. Even if you get 100, next match is you start with a knot. Even if you get a knot, you must not get discouraged. Anyhow, you are starting with a 0. So you have to encourage these players, guide them, not the coaches are not trying to coach a test player. So There are guides, lines you have to say, I come, today what happened, you have lost your concentration, those are the things you must discuss with the players. So the whole team, you can't say, come and have a chat and say that. So individually you must take one by one after batting or bowling. And today what happens is they are doing more training to keep the physical training. The bowlers don't bowl much now. During our time, we keep something there, even without the team. I go and bowl on the spot. So when I get the ball, the first ball what I try to do is the line. So today it's not happening. And I saw the work of some bowler bowling his first ball on the other pitch. So this is the way it happens. So you must commit yourself and you must train yourself in your batting or bowling and fielding, So then you can go a long way.
Thank you very much, Mr. Polonowita. It's been a great pleasure talking to you for all your advice and insights and going down memory lane. It's a wonderful experience for everyone to know from the legend. Thank you very much.
I must take this opportunity to thank Paara who gave me this opportunity to talk this interview. Paara, thank you very much for inviting me for